So go back then to your journalism, and I see the list of people that you've met and you've interviewed, and the list just goes on, and you've traveled the world. Can you talk about some of the highlights that you've got? Because I've written down like
really?
the Qatar King, to Myanmar, the Syrian and Turkish border.
You did your homework.
Yeah, and I remember talking to you also about you visited Australia as well, or one of the government.
Oh yeah, they
China?
came for the national visit or something. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I didn't go to. I hadn't went to.
You haven't been to Australia yet.
Yet. Yeah.
All right. Good thing. So, how did this come about then? Journalism, like if you're doing business now, was that something that you always wanted to get into, or you just sort of fell into that job?
Well, no, this is something I really want to do.
Yeah.
So before I interviewed politicians from all over the world, and the topic is mainly about politicians.
Give some examples.
Well, just like I interviewed the former president of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I mean, say, yeah. So Kazan. So it's all about how can Afghanistan protect itself after like the American troops withdraw.
Yeah.
I mean, all topics that are relevant to the world, the peace world, and the development. So it's very, very grandy. Very, very grandy.
How are you preparing for an interview like that? But I mean, do you feel pressure, like trying to come up with the right questions, and then do you have people on their party going, "Oh, you can't ask that question, you can't ask that question," or do you know already what you can and can't say?
Well,
and especially from you coming from China as well, being like a communist party, so I guess they don't want to give out too much information. But yeah, tell us, like, are there people telling you can and can't say this?
Not really.
No?
I mean, I think I mean, just could I just like worked as a journalist for several years?
Yes.
So according to my limited experience, I think I'm happy with my work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, like, were they just questions that your company wanted to ask, or were they coming in saying, "Oh no, you can't ask this"?
I didn't really experience this.
They never did that.
I didn't really experience this.
Okay, that's interesting. So you said you're the Afghanistan king, former president.
Former president. Or like former Chilean president. Ambassadors to China.
Yes.
Like many ambassadors to China. Yeah, I somehow initiate a channel, you can say, that is how they world politicians see the views from the world, from the views from the politicians all over the world, kind of like that.
Right.
Yeah. So under that channel, I approached many politicians and we talked about different topics in many countries.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then I remember you telling me about the time that you went to Africa.
Yeah,
Tell us about this one.
Well, in Africa, it's about a project that I went to Africa to do a story. It's about the China's foreign aid to help the elimination of malaria.
Right.
So China become now is like a donate giver.
Right.
So before we accepted the donation or the foreign aid, but now we are positively or actively, take part in the foreign aid worldwide. To give donations, to give our experience and money out. Yeah. So this project is about, like, we try to see if our experience in tackling malaria in last 70s, 80s, if this experience works in Africa. So this is basically the project about. So I went to the village in Tanzania and living with the people with malaria.
Wow.
And we want to see if this works. if this project works, and if there is anything, if there is anything different using Chinese experience without comparing without compare with the places that hadn't adopted Chinese experience, Chinese methods. Well, the result is pretty encouraging. Yeah.
And I saw some pictures of you on the Syrian and Turkish border.
Yeah, the Syrian-Turkish border. So on my way back from Africa, I always wanted to to do a story about Syrian refugees. Not only about Syrian refugees, but about, like I said earlier, broken people, broken heart. I'm really obsessed with the so-called broken people, weird places.
Well, you were saying, I read on your WeChat saying that you were at gunpoint when you were going past there. Was that true?
Yeah. So it's meters, just like 10 meters or 20 meters away from the wall along the border.
Yeah.
So I think there were just someone to hold the held the gun.
Yeah.
Well, that's their job.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So back to the story. So on my way back from Africa, I thought this is a chance or opportunity for me to go to the border, along Turkey and Syria. Yes. So I always wanted to do this kind of story that is relevant to refugees, not only Syrian refugees, but only just people, just broken people who go through conflicts, go through hard times. Before I went to Şanlıurfa, one of the states in Turkey. Well, this state is actually pretty close to Syria, and it accepted the most Syrian refugees.
Wow.
In Turkey. So I contacted a friend in the Turkish embassy. Well, it's not really a friend, it's someone we cooperated before. When I was a journalist, I interviewed Turkish ambassador.
Wow.
So that's why we got this connection. And I asked him, just by luck, I asked him if anybody that can help me with the interview if I go to the camp, because I really need the permission.
Yes.
Like a foreign journalist cannot just go directly to that the very sensitive area. And he said yes, the ambassador is from that state, and the ambassador helped me with the connection with the governor. And that's how how I finally made it and to enter the camp. And so on my way back from Africa, I went to Dubai. And then from Dubai I went to Istanbul, and from Istanbul I changed the flight to Şanlıurfa, and from Şanlıurfa I drove the car to the border. That's crazy. That's still crazy. And later I heard that place is actually the place where the terrorist group, what's the name, used to live.
Oh yeah.
So
wow.
and still kind of something that I probably don't dare to do again.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was pretty exciting. So that's how that's basically how I went to Syrian refugee camp.
Was it difficult to get any of these interviews to get there? Like you said, that was very hard to get there.
Well, usually they came to China.
Oh right.
And then I'll just propose for that interview.
Right.
But it's hard to, if you really go to a certain country, to approach to locals. That's hard because sometimes it's because the language, and sometimes because the dangerous situations. Yeah. For example, like in Turkey, after I entered the camp, so some people do not really speak English. They cannot even speak Turkish.
Yeah.
They speak Syrian, they speak Arabic, so it's hard for me to understand them. So
did you have a translator, or how does that work?
Yeah, there was somebody who can speak not really good English, but
Yeah.
but still can translate for me. I lived in the camp for a couple of days, and interviewed people. Yeah, just the different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Some people are, well, I went there with a question I'm really curious about, because back in that time, 2018, right? Yeah, so the Syrian Assad government is, had upper hand in the war. So it's kind of clear, relatively clear that that the war, seems like the war will end sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about whether like 4 billion refugees will stay here
Yeah.
or will go further to European countries,
Yes.
like the rich people always do, or they will go back to Syria to take part in the reconstruction of the nation.
Yes.
And if they go back, then what kind of result will they face? Like they escaped from the land and then they came back.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people. 4 billion. So I'm really curious. I was really curious. I'm curious about how to. This is an issue. This is a issue that like the United Nations should consider. Should really think about it. Should the international world should do. So yeah, with that question in mind, I interview a lot of people in the camp and outside the camp, because 90% of refugees works outside the camp. Only 10%, like the relatively like people that is with old age or kids that cannot move further. They stayed in the camp. The people who have the capacity to work, who are capable of working, are in the big cities to do different kinds of work. So I went to Shanghai, the state that built the camps along the border. But also I went to Istanbul. That's the biggest city. It's the biggest city, right? Yeah, in Turkey. So it offers many opportunities for working. So I saw a lot of different people. So I asked this question, and also to make the story more objective.
Yes.
So I should not only listen to the voice from the refugees. Of course, like I have the sympathy. I must admit that in the first place I have the sympathy for these broken people, but I must listen to Turkish locals as well, and also need to listen to the local NGOs or international organizations like UNHCR. I also talked with the director of UNHCR later, and also interview the governor, interview the director, under Erdogan, who is in charge of the refugees issues in Turkey.
So when you're interviewing these types of people, I mean, it can be very political and religious. Religion comes into it as well, and you have your opinion as well. Is it difficult for you to do an interview with that type of person where you may have some different feelings about what this person's doing, but you have to interview them for your job?
No, it's never happened. I mean, the reason I wanted to do these stories because I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. So with that in mind, I always, eager to listen to different opinions.
Yes.
It's kind of like a picture. You really need to complete it.
So right.
Your job is to complete it.
Yeah.
You cannot just, I just take the red color.
Yeah.
I don't want the yellow color. No. You must take whatever. Well, you must take as much as you can. Yeah.
Totally
just take the voices from different kinds of group. I even interviewed the Chinese who worked there, and he taught Syrian case. He was a teacher there, and he tried to initiate a project and with the aim to make Syrian case to study, like to receive normal education in Turkey. So it's like all kinds of voices from all directions.
Yeah.
And we'll complete the painting.
Right.
But I mean, what I learned from the takeaway, the biggest takeaway from like covering news or doing stories over worldwide is the biggest takeaway is there is never ever, a completed picture.
Got it.
Never.
Yeah.
Because the world is so big.
Yeah.
And there's various of voices, and you can never.
No.
Yeah, you can never get. So the more voices you get, the closer, like the climbing the mountain. I mean, the closer you are to the truth.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can never reach the truth. You can never accept it. You can never get the truth. Yeah.
Did you interview Putin?
Well, I didn't. Well, I tried, but I didn't make it to interview Putin. But I interviewed his advisor.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like very close. His group.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that like?
So it was in Putin's hometown.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's what's that? St. Petersburg.
Yeah. Right.
So we went there for international meeting there. So Putin was having meeting with Macron. So they're on the stage. So after that, I was planning to like interview him, because at that time when I was in St. Petersburg, Trump just took office.
Oh, right.
It was interesting timing.
Yeah.
It was really interesting timing.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things I want to know. But I think like Putin's schedule is pretty tight, and he was on his way back to Moscow. So I interviewed his aide. He's very, very, very close friends since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also interviewed his advisor for economies. Yeah. So that's also interesting. I mean,
amazing interviews. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an interview that stands out? If you want to see my experience as a journalist, go and see this one.
Cambodian jail.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that jail used to, that's all about story, about history. So that jail used to have a lot of prisoners.
I went to the killing field there.
You went there?
I've been there twice now, and I'll never go back there again. It's just so.
I can even see the blood like after 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, you can even see.
They're still digging up the holes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, now I don't know, but I mean, I still can see the blood on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah. So I interviewed the two elderly who survived.
Wow.
Yeah. He literally sat in the yard of that jail, of that previous jail.
Yeah, right.
He's selling book. The book, autobiography, of course, about the past, that experience. And I talked with him and asked him, can you forget? And can people forget? And the reason I went there to do this story is because I'm really curious about what kind of changes, or what's the scars are there.
Yeah.
Right. And how can people forget? And what can this in fact impact the development society? With suddenly, like overnight, such a huge number of people being I mean, that's really and although I interviewed 3 generations, the generation who went through and survived, and the younger generation who are their case, and also the 3rd generation who is relatively Western and modern. Yeah. So
they're very lucky.
You can say so.
They've still got a lot to work on about Cambodia. I mean, it's better than it was. I was there.
You've been there.
I was there in 2008,
and
then again in 2018. I could see a huge difference. Huge difference, like 10 year gap, but still there's a lot to fix up. But it seems like a lot of the American businesses are now starting to try and go over there and make it better, which is good.
Yeah, that's what I saw there, with the foreign aid, with the
Yes.
it's kind of like the sad is raising up. It's you can see the prosper Paris buildings all.
That whole
Yeah.
history of the Cambodia is so interesting for me. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they were fighting wars against each other, and they
Yeah.
were fighting wars with each.
Yeah.
But they were also fighting Thailand and Vietnam. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Or I went to
crazy.
Thailand, Myanmar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Myanmar is also very interesting. Well,
Yeah.
Thailand is the tourism
Yeah.
place, but Myanmar is. I'm pretty into Myanmar.
Yeah.
It's according to the.
People tell me that I need to go there.
Oh yeah.
Place to go.
Yeah, I went to Aung San Suu Kyi's house. Like,
Oh, nice.
he was like house arrest before.
Oh.
So it was by the lake. So I went there.
What's the future now for you? Like, where are we going from here? You got a new book coming out that you're working on, but where do you see yourself going after this new book?
So I think that those things all related to each other.
Do you
Although
think
it
you'll go
seems
back
like-
to journalism?
Was one of the options for
Yeah.
me. One of the alternatives. But if I went back to like being journalist, I probably will focus on one certain area
Right.
that we'll cover and we'll dig deeper into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still very, very into exploring the world, and still very, very much passionate about like helping the people with disabilities or like broken. I don't
Yeah.
know how to define broken, but broken is something that you'll see. The thing is, I want to really really be a really do something to make the world more diverse, like for people with disability or people who living in the refugee camp or people who who is with disease in
Yes.
Africa. They seems probably we can put weird there to describe them, but they are all part of the world and they are part of the diverse world. So we really need to make people accept the diversity
Yeah.
and really treat them treat the people with these people as normal, as the uniqueness,
that's right.
as unique. That's something I really into doing in the future. Still continue, and actually I'm also leading the project of a like empowering the disabled here.
Right.
So
In
that's-
China,
that's-
that's great.
Oh yeah, in China, yeah.
That's great.
I'm planning and still I'm working on it with my friends.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
it's-
cool.
Yeah,
Love hearing that.
Yeah.
Helping people. That's amazing.
yeah. That's like I said, after Zhang Hong story, I like further confirmed that we
Yes.
really need to, I always like before. I have been trying to find a perfect answer for life. And I once thought there should be one perfect answer.
Yes.
But after traveling around, after talking with people from different backgrounds that having different stories, I finally realized, I came to the conclusion that there is no perfect answer for life. Well, the only answer is knowing the true face of life, but still loving it.
It's an interesting.
And find the thing that you are really, really passionate about,
Yeah.
and really that you find the things that you're eager to sacrifice for it, even sacrifice your life, no matter what you got from it. I mean, this probably is so far the answer I find, and so far the takeaway from the my journey of being a journalist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. Like, what is success to you? Like,
I mean, just as I said, my understanding of life is similar with my understanding my understanding of success
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So success is not
Money.
well, it's definitely not money. It's definitely not the social standards. It's about success. Is about your attitude.
Yeah.
Your attitude, and it's about your finding. It's about whether at the end of the day you find your passion.
Yes.
And you find something or somebody that you are really eager to sacrifice your life for.
Yeah.
Without thinking of the rewards. Yeah. And that kind of life is attracting.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Put your heart into something and go for it and fight for it. I don't know if you have watched the movie, which is really popular during Chinese festival, the YOLO, the movie YOLO. You only live once.
Right.
So you probably cannot, win the game.
Yeah.
You probably cannot beat others, no matter how hard you try. But you gotta go, and you put all your heart and strength and energy into it, and then you win. I mean,
yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the biggest takeaway.
Great motivation. Great. So I want to ask now, what is the best advice you've been given?
Don't take, so serious, or so personally, about what other people think about you.
Right.
And say about you.
Yes.
But just even the whole world against you, just find the thing. Oh, it's hard. It's really hard to find the thing, but it's really worth it. It's really worth it, trying your best to find it.
Yes. And
then you can say this is a life worth living.
Yes.
Well, this is still something I'm seeking for. I'm still seeking for, I'm always trying to find where my passion is. It's singing, it's dancing, it's writing, it's traveling, it's talking with the people from different cultural background. Every single day in the morning or in the deep night, I still asking myself this question.
Well, that's good part.
Really, literally every single day I ask this question.
Yeah.
What is really making me excited?
Yes.
What really wake me up every day? Not alarm clock, definitely. It's really something.
Okay.
I
gotta do this, and this.
Yeah. There was a time I'm really, really, really crazy about playing the piano and sing while playing the old songs. Yeah. So in the deep night, I still stayed awake.
Wow.
I feel all right, I'm going to finish because it's the melody. It's so, the lyrics, the melody is so beautiful.
Yes.
And I really want to enjoy the moment, sing and playing. That really makes me feel I'm on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So I'm really aching to find more this kind of things. And then you too. I mean, you are interviewing the people. This is really the thing, the band, and interviewing weird people from different places. It's also your passion, and so that's basically why I want to talk with you, because I think we are kind of in the same page. Or,
definitely
have the same.
Love the motivation and the drive, and just getting in there, doing something that you like.
Definitely, I
love that. It's very, very good.
YOLO.
I will have to definitely watch that now. And that's so true. You only live once. And who's your greatest inspiration / hero, and why? So
if you ask me my heroes, I can give you a long list, with many, many big names, but I would rather put my brother here because he was the only one who encouraged me to pursue, to chase the horizon, and he kind of plant the seed in my heart, and still, till today, he still encouraged me to do things, or encouraged me to go beyond the comfort zone, and to explore the wide world.
Yes.
And also because he later became, like sick.
Oh.
So that's part of the reasons why I began to really pay attention to broken people and really want to do something to help with the people with disabilities, or do something to make a difference
It's amazing.
for a certain group of people.
Really, really
So
cool.
once he's there, I know that I cannot stop searching for the meaning, that I cannot stop making a difference. So up to my brother's name there.
That's a great way to finish it off.
Yeah.
Esther,
thank you very much.
amazing talent.
Yeah.
I love how you've got that drive and passion, and something that you want to do, you do it to the best of your ability.
这个 time being,
that's something
you
that
too.
something that I really like in you. Good luck with the second book coming out. Let us know. We'll promote it.
Yeah.
And
sure.
all the best for the future.
Thank you.
No
Thank
worries.
you. I love your program as well.
Oh, thank you.